I'm gonna tell you straight off the bat, this is one of my favorite new releases in 2023. Oh yes, we have another Elixir, and this one is a very notable addition to the Elixir name. This is Invictus Victory Elixir, and today I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know about this 2023 release, and if you should be adding it to your collection or not. But first, let's go over the presentation. Invictus Victory Elixir was made in 2023 in France, and I'm not really too sure about the perfumers. If you do know, leave that in the comments below. The fragrance is served directly to you in this box right here, which I think looks absolutely fantastic. It's a black box with kind of a blue, and then you get gold. It says Invictus Victory Elixir by Paco Rabanne. This is apparently a Parfum Intense concentration. On the back is where it's gonna grab most people because it says it is very long lasting, but is it? We're gonna get into that. And it also says made in France, vegan formula. In case you were wondering, yes, it's vegan. So on the bottom of the box, you're just getting some ingredients, my batch code, barcodes, random stuff there. This kind of barcode that I guess takes you to their website. Here, go ahead, scan it, see what happens. See what happens. It's that Invictus style trophy looking bottle of that. It is different. So in case you didn't know, this is actually a flanker off of Invictus Victory. This is the Elixir concentration. I don't actually have a bottle of Invictus Victory, so I don't actually have it there to compare. There's a gradient in this bottle from black to dark blue. You cannot really see. See, you can see there's like blue going on in here, right? You got the V for victory in gold. On the top, it does say Invictus Paco Rabanne on the back. And then on the bottom, that's your batch code and information there. And my batch code is 23001. I know you were wondering. I actually do kind of like the Invictus style bottles. I think that they look really cool. Some may say they're tacky. Doesn't matter to me. But the atomizer is actually built into the top. Access it by pressing right here. Ooh yeah, I love that smell. Obviously the bottle and the box design does not matter. What does this scent profile smell like? Well, first of all, I'm gonna go over the listed notes before I tell you what I can actually smell. On Fragrantica, they actually updated the note profile. In the top notes is black pepper, lavender, and cardamom, middle notes of incense and patchouli, and base notes of vanilla pod and tonka bean. Now what I get, yes, I do get a lot of that amber and kind of vanilla. I don't get much black pepper at all. When I first spray it though, I'm getting this initial blast of this like combination of different fruits that I can't really specifically pick out, but it is definitely fruity. I'm also getting a slight kind of chocolatey, coconutty vibe. It's very sweet, it's very loud. When I first sprayed this on, I thought of like a fruity Bounty bar. You get the chocolate, you get the coconut, add fruits to that, and that's kind of like what it was smelling to me at first. So I think that this vanilla, tonka bean, and then kind of this like earthy, woody patchouli kind of combined together to create this like chocolatey accord and incensey, woody undertones, if that makes sense. Like it all kind of just combines into one. Towards the dry down, you're definitely gonna pick up more on that incense, especially when that fruity top note kind of fades away. The woods, the patchouli is gonna come through, the incense is gonna come through. I love the opening to this fragrance, and I love the scent profile. The wearing experience to this was super positive to me, not only to me, but to the other people around me. Like I was getting a lot of compliments on this scent profile just by wearing it. If you're compliment shopping, this is a very good contender for that. A lot of people have compared this scent profile to Le Beau Le Parfum, and right off the bat, I'm gonna tell you, I don't get much of that at all. Maybe like 20 to 30% similarity. People also say it's kind of similar to 1 Million Elixir. I also don't get that at all. Le Beau Le Parfum is primarily pineapple and coconut. Sure, there's coconut in here, but when you add in those other things, it just makes it its own fragrance. It's kind of like when there's pineapple in any fragrance and someone's like, does it smell like Aventus? I guess to each their own. Me wearing this personally, I loved every time I wore it. I will mention that this is a scent profile I get extremely nose blind to. My nose just kind of has an off and an on switch with this fragrance. I spray it, and then like 10 minutes later, I don't smell anything at all. And then what I'll do is I'll just let it sit for a bit. I'll go back up, and then I get a huge hit, and I go back for another smell, and I don't smell anything at all. This fragrance has a huge on and off switch on my nose. And a lot of people that are gonna say that this is not a performer are gonna experience the same type of issues. This is chocked full of synthetic notes. There's a lot of synthetic oils in here, and your nose is gonna filter those out. It's also really loud, so your nose is gonna filter it out really quick. I had to spray it on someone else to do the performance testing. I'll get into the performance in a second, but on my skin, I stopped smelling this after like maybe half an hour at the most. Keep that in mind, but I love the scent profile of this, and I know it's a lot louder than I thought it was. That's why I had to do some testing on other people, because it wouldn't be a fair review without that. When I spray this on, it is actually quite loud. I'm getting pretty much like a 2+ feet projection for the first hour. The reason I know that is because I actually had to ask other people's opinions, how far away they can smell this, and it's pretty loud off of my skin. Just on my skin, when it's like on my neck and stuff, it just kills out my nose nose really quick. After about an hour, I found that it backed down to around a foot or just under a foot less projection. That's gonna last you quite a long time in that 1 foot projection area. That's gonna slowly back down on your skin, and I think that it's gonna pretty much last around 8 hours before it transitions into a skin scent, and it's gone around the 12-hour mark. So performance here, yes, you know, like they said on the box, it's long lasting, and I have to agree that it is quite long lasting, but it's gonna be a lot longer lasting than you think it's gonna be, because I definitely think there's some anosmia or nose blind issues here, especially if I'm having them. I'm sure others are too. The first time I sprayed it on, I think I put like 7 sprays on. The next day on my clothes, they still smelled like this fragrance. Like I got an immediate hit of this fragrance on my clothes the next day, well into the 24-hour range. I had to wash this stuff off my clothes. Now, in terms of occasions that I think that this fragrance would be good for, I think that this is perfect for dates. If you underspray, definitely underspray this if you're gonna go on dates. It does have that kind of seductive, mysterious vibe to it, and some of that incense kind of gives it this like sophistication. I wouldn't say that this is like too cloyingly sweet where only like high schoolers can get away with it. I think that this is age versatile. It does have that youthful sweetness to it. It does also have that maturity to it. So it's kind of a mix between the two. I think it's split down the middle. It's really hard to put an age on fragrance, but I think that this is pretty much good for someone my age, younger or older. Just kind of see if you like this scent profile. You can also wear it clubbing if you overspray it, because it is sweet. It's an attention grabber. You're gonna turn some heads. A lot of women are gonna love the scent profile of this. So if that's kind of what you're looking for, is to get compliments, this definitely could do that on you. It did on me. It's possible. A lot of women like scent profiles like this. It's seductive, it's warming, it's inviting, it's very, very attractive. I asked a woman what she thought of this, and she absolutely loved it. If you're gonna wear this in like the fall, in winter, it's gonna beg for someone to come in close, you know, cuddle with you. Hi, I'm just filming, I'll call you back. Speaking of that woman, I think that this can be versatile, but it's more for the situation when you're trying to grab attention or maintain that attention from someone else. I wore this at home for movie night. I also wore this out on a beach party where there was a fire, like a bonfire going on, and I got compliments outside during a cooler night in the summer. So I think that this isn't just necessarily good for the fall and winter. Just because of the scent profile, I recommend that you kind of keep this towards the cooler nights in maybe the early spring, fall, and winter. So what is this fragrance going for? For an 100 milliliter bottle, if you're gonna pay retail, you're gonna find it for around $168 Canadian for 100 ml, which is pretty much going average nowadays. But on discounters, you're gonna find this for around $139 Canadian for the 100 ml. I'm pretty sure Invictus bottles only come in the 100 ml. Overall, I was very impressed with this fragrance. It does live up to the expectations of an Elixir name, and truthfully, this is one that I'm gonna wear quite often in the fall and the winter. I'm gonna grab this one quite often. If I was to say out of 10, I'm gonna give Invictus Victory Elixir an 8.5 out of 10. I think that it is very mass appealing. It's hard to go wrong with a scent profile like this, but definitely match your sprays to the occasion you're in, and I think you're gonna like this one too. If you like date night fragrances, I highly suggest that you check out this fragrance right here, and I'll see you over there.